What's up?
What's up, PTL? Just doing some grinding before bed. Trying to get an accessory right now. Game's not dropping anything. Even with a cheat engine code on to maximize the loot, I still can't get anything. I did get one accessory today, which is good. Favorite stream before bed, eh? That means a lot, thank you. Trying to stream twice a day. Got my kitty sitting job, and then when I get home, I have to sit with the kitties, and then I have to feed them and stuff. Kill some time. Now that I have a phone that can stream. I got Mario 3D World. That game's pretty cool. I haven't really enjoyed a Mario game in a very long time. I didn't like Mario Odyssey that much. I felt like that game was too much filler. I'm really enjoying Mario 3D World though. I don't know if I'll stream that game, but personal when I'm at my kitty sitting job and stuff. Waiting for videos to upload. Play that game. I can see why it's held in such high regard. Well, the Wii U was not a good console. I skipped the Wii U. I skipped the 3DS as well. They didn't really have anything on the 3DS I couldn't play on the Vita. I hadn't had any Nintendo console since the Wii. I enjoy the Switch, but it's getting too weak for all the shit that they put on it. It's got the same problem that the Vita had. It's like, hey, let's put like Cyberpunk on Switch. And it's like, sure, but it's going to be more expensive than any other platform, and it's going to run at like 10 FPS. And people say like, yeah, I want that anyway. And then it comes out, and then they complain that it runs like shit. It's like, well, that's what happens when you ask for something that the hardware can't handle. There's lots of really great games on the Switch, though. It's just you have to be really, you can't make blind purchases. It could be like some stick figure flash game on a mobile, from mobile, and it'll still run like garbage somehow. You're not safe buying anything on that platform. You really have to look. Find someone who does a port review, or at least look up some gameplay. There's a channel I use that guy does not commentate at all. Like, his channel is not something that should be successful, but because the Switch has so many shitty ports, he just puts up footage of himself playing with the frame rate on. And that, like, seems... I don't know how much money the guy makes, obviously, but he's got a pretty successful channel. It's like he doesn't need high-level gameplay or commentary. Which are two hard things to manage. Actually being good at all these games and then, like, being able to commentate is not easy. Lucky for that guy, the Switch is shit hardware, so a lot of the ports aren't as good as they should be. I've been trying to get a PS5, but with the stimulus check, I got the phone instead. Because my other phone was, like, falling apart. It turned out to be a good purchase, because it can play, like, anything up to the Wii perfectly on emulation. I could have saved the money for a PS5, but I was like, I'm just gonna buy the phone now. Wait for something that might never come. They send us that second stimulus, that's probably when I'll try to get a PS5. Apparently it's been getting, like, marginally easier. It's been getting a little bit easier to get one. Like, maybe the scalpers are having a hard time actually selling them now. I don't know. Noticed more actual humans getting them now, so maybe by the time they give us that second stimmy, we can get one. Doesn't solve the fact that there's no games on that damn thing. It's like, it's basically a PS4 Pro 2. There's like 10 games on it. Most of them are remasters or ports of some sort. I don't even know why they released it when they did. They could have easily released it, like, next year. Could have had more of a surplus of them. Allow the pandemic to die down a bit, so that people could actually pick them up in the stores. That's most of the problem right there, is that they're not selling them in stores to try to prevent people from going out and getting the virus for the purpose of getting a game console. Which is a good call, but the problem is making it a lot harder to actual people to get them. When you make someone physically pick up something in the store, that stops pretty much all of the most dedicated scalpers. You know, people that have the cash to buy like 30 of them and then mark them up to desperate people. because of the pandemic, they're all being sold online, which is just a scalper's paradise. All the retail sites have taken their sweet time to like actually have any kind of prevention. Like I guess they don't care. They don't care that humans aren't getting them because they're still making money. Especially with all those bullshit bundles they keep doing. It's like $800 with like 5 controllers and like, I don't know, NBA 2022 or whatever. Like, who the hell wants that? The worst part is people are buying it because they're that desperate. All the retailers are taking advantage of the fact that you can't buy them in the stores, so they're forcing you to buy bundles with a bunch of useless shit that no one would buy. Especially GameStop. GameStop's doing it the most. GameStop and Newegg are doing it the most. Newegg's been doing that with the graphics cards too. Forcing you to buy like power supplies and motherboards. It's like, well, I think if somebody's looking for a card, chances are they already have a motherboard that can use it. In my case, I need a new motherboard at some point, so I wouldn't particularly mind getting one of those bundles, but it's obvious they're just doing it because it's people are that desperate. That shit's not happening. You know, if they really give us 1400 like they're saying, I would consider just paying a scalper. But I've been scammed by game consoles before, so I'm really weary about that. I'd be more comfortable with it if it was somebody I knew. Isn't gonna sell me something with like the parts out. I remember once Craigslist here, I bought an Xbox 360, and the guy was such a dickwad that he took all the parts out of it. Basically sold me a plastic box. There were like just enough parts in it so that you couldn't tell until you got home. So I'm really wary about buying something that expensive as a scalper. It's in their best interest to not screw people over so that they can keep selling them because people are so desperate, but yeah, it's a huge risk. I'm not really sure if it's worth it. Especially since there's no games on it. It's basically just playing old games you already have. The way they should have ran on the PS4. But as a content creator, I do need to get one sooner than later. It puts a lot of pressure on me to get one. Especially with all the paid exclusivity that's going on right now, like Kingdom Hearts only being on the Epic Game Store. Like, I'm pretty sure Square doesn't need the money for that. They're not like a starving indie developer like a lot of the other games that sell out to Epic. They're like a multi-million-dollar company. They don't need that money. It's probably Epic was the one that came to them. Kingdom Hearts games are like the worst like popular game, AAA games for really cool preservation because they've never been on PC, so they keep re-releasing them every 5 years. So the fact that it's on PC is huge. I wouldn't be surprised if the Japanese suits that Square Enix Japan were like, we don't want to port it on there, we can just keep selling it on every PlayStation console every 6 years. And then Epic came to them, hey, we'll give you this fat wad of cash. if you put it on there. Yeah, I'm not big on Kingdom Hearts myself. I beat the first two, I haven't touched any since. Well, Kingdom Hearts 3 has cyberpunk syndrome because it was vaporware for a really long time, and then they like re-announced it. And when you make people wait that long, the expectations are going to be like through the roof. That's just how it always is. You set unrealistic expectations when you tell people you're making a game when it's like 2% complete. It's better to do it the DMC5 way, where the game was basically almost done already. They were basically just doing like the finishing touches. That game's marketing cycle from announcement to release was like 9 months, which is barely any time at all when you consider how the game industry has been past generation. It's like, hey, we just got out of the meeting to approve this game. We have the name written on a paper, we're officially starting development, but we just got out of the meeting and we're on lunch right now. And now's a great time to announce it. Not like 2 years after when the game is like more than halfway complete. It's like, no, let's announce it when it's a design document and we just walked out of the meeting. We'll have somebody just do a smartphone video saying the game is coming. That's what the Resident Evil 2 remake announcement was. Literally just a guy standing there and said, he actually directly said, we don't have any assets to show that the game is coming. It's like, well, why didn't you announce it like a year from now? I heard that game turned out pretty good, but the point still stands. Shouldn't do that. After a while, the excitement becomes resentment because the game is taking forever to come out. It's like Cyberpunk, where it's such a disappointing, barely functional game. And they have to like straight up make all these fake apology videos and shit. People don't have patience for that anymore. You gotta respect people's time. I understand that game development is hard, but it's all the more reason to not announce things so damn soon. When I think about Persona Strikers, I'm skipping that game. I have no interest. Because I heard it's like 60% cutscenes, and the action gameplay is not even that good, and I'm not a Persona fan at all, so... Nothing really to offer for me. I mean, no luck tonight. Such horrible luck. At least give me a treasure room game, so I have more chances to get nothing. Oops. I don't have that many games I'm interested in right now. It's kind of a dry period. Console generational transition period, and then putting out the new consoles before they had any games ready. How many games have been delayed to be announced release dates? I don't understand why they released it when they did. It's like they put it out, and then like all the people actually making all the AAA games that were actually going to sell the system in the first place, they can't get them done because they have to work from home. Making a AAA game working from home is like a nightmare, I'm sure. And then like every week, one of those big games gets pushed back to next year. It's like, well, why didn't you guys just wait? I mean, it's not like they were going to go bankrupt if they put it out like the end of this year, like November, December this year, would have been fine. So obviously they're making tons of money off it still, but it's just stupid to me. None of the games are ready, so what's the rush in putting out the console? I think they announced a release date for Ratchet & Clank today. So that's like one AAA game with a concrete release date out of all the ones they've announced that are just like logos. Basically, vaporware. I don't put the blame on the developers either. Probably under a lot of pressure to say that anything was coming to it. The average consumer doesn't want like 500 indie games to be announced. They want big AAA stuff. AAA's, I mean, indie's a lot of what I play. Smaller games and stuff. Can't expect the average person to be hyped for that. What's up, JD? Yeah, I stopped my stream because I had a very important or personal Facebook message show up, and I didn't want to have his name on my channel. But then I looked at the VOD and the message doesn't show up, which is really weird to me. Like it took up like half my screen while I was playing Streets of Rage 2X. Like, okay, I need to stop this so I can reply to him. But it turns out it doesn't show it, which is cool for privacy's sake. You don't want to be streaming and then have a friend like tell you what their address is. You can send them a package and then like suddenly like 50 people know your friend's address. That's what I was worried about. But now that I know what actually blocks that from showing, I can stream safely now. It's weird that it even shows up at all. I don't understand why the phone does that. Like, it still pops up, even though I had notifications all blocked, but it doesn't actually show it on the viewer end. I'm glad I know now, at least. Valve helmet. That's the new armor piece they added for PC. Man, I'm getting like nothing tonight. I'm about to just give up on playing this tonight. That's actually a pretty good Odachi. Not that I'm ever gonna play that weapon. Kind of looking for dual katanas. I wanted to try out that weapon. Let's see if I've got any in here. That one's pretty good. Probably got a bunch in the storehouse. Mostly junk though. Actually, it's all junk. Not gonna give me a treasure room either. No treasure room tonight either. Just straight garbo. Actually, did I get any good accessories I can pop in the stone at least? This one's got potential, but it doesn't have zero key. What would be the best one to put in? Sloth on ninjutsu would be good. Alright. I'm gonna awaken, I'm gonna level up this stone and probably just stop playing this for tonight. it's just giving me endless piles of garbage. I'm getting kind of tired of it. It's not even giving me any teases. It's just straight junk. Why did the Yasha get aggroed? Oh, she's gonna wave. Accessory? This game, man. this is such horseshit. Nothing. I'm not playing a service game right now. These drop rates. It's just total garbage, man. There's nothing. A lot of the good stuff that's dropping is in a set too, which just makes it worthless. Frustrating. Alright, well, one more run, we'll finish it. Actually, I think I could just go kill this dude over here. There's a underworld soldier over there. Go get him. That should max it out, I think. There's an aberrant over here too. Over here. Ultimate Dynasty Warriors peon. These guys. Fuck. Okay. Dynasty Warriors peon has gotta go. Oh man, this game. None of these are really good because they have to get 0 key. Which is like the only thing I'm trying to get right now. And I'm having such horrible luck. At least I got one of the pieces today. Alright, I don't know what boss this is, so I'm gonna pop some kitties. Probably just give up on this for tonight. It's Ninja Turtle. Floor, so I don't think I could get anything from here. Nope. Give me a treasure room. I've suffered enough today. Give me a damn treasure room at least. Hey! Ask and you shall receive. I wonder what grace this this goes off in. That's what I don't know. Well, that's a couple gear upgrades at least. This is probably nothing I can use. Fucking like 30 runs of this today. Finally got something. What grace are these dropping at? There's an Anigi in there. Yeah, I think it does go off the... I think it does go off the table of the room that you were in. Let's see, what's that Magatama? That's almost good. Not quite. I'll keep that one. Dodge vulnerability up would be really nice to have. On the boots. So I can't take a hit, so extra iframes would be nice. But that's a star fix. You can only get that natively off a drop. You can't temper it. I think I got everything in here. Cleared it out. Gotta pull a link here and bust open all the pots, because they have a chance to drop stuff too. Yeah, it's all dropping stuff off the grace pool of the floor that I just cleared. I'm noticing that right now, which isn't a bad thing. There was another Magatama in here. I don't really need that, though. I need it from the last floor I did. I wish it had given me this on the last floor. Then I would have had a chance to get something. Pretty much all poop. Nothing good. Actually, what are the plus values on these? Up to 63 now, so that's pretty good. Alright. A couple people have gotten this far. They probably used Cheat Engine like I did, but they obviously used it way more than I did. It is not easy to get to level 750. It takes a lot of experience. That's fine, though. Probably all veteran players like I am. I can't blame them. They've done a pretty shitty job of mitigating the RNG for the stuff that matters, like accessories. Accessory RNG is still... It's embarrassing how bad it is. It's like they don't care. It's like one of the #1 complaints about this game. Especially if you're trying to actually get a specific stat on it. It's just a complete RNG nightmare. It's such an easy thing to fix, too. It's like, just let you temper the star effects with, like, a new tier of Umbrasite, or at the very least, give you Grace Inheritance. That would fix the problem right there. Like, that's all it takes. I don't know why they can't even be bothered to do that. The thing everybody hates about this game is accessory RNG, Soul Core RNG. They really don't have anything you can do to make that kind of stuff better. Actually, I should not donate to this guy. I should level up my weapons first.
Yeah.
いらっしゃい。
There already is a trainer that one-shots enemies, but it wouldn't really help much. That's like a last resort kind of thing. I do like the combat in this game, it's just... this RNG is shit. No, I don't want to inherit the Grace. Back down to a worse Grace. Why the hell would I do that, game? Come on now. Actually, let's try one-shotting stuff for a while. I've suffered enough today. gonna give that a shot. Let me, gotta upgrade all my gear first. So maybe I can take like 3 hits instead of 2. What a massive difference, right? Actually, that one's pretty good. I didn't keep that one. Gotta level up all this stuff first before I can dump everything else. It's baffling that they have not fixed the RNG for accessories in slow cores. I had someone comment on my video saying that they did like 300 hours of it and they didn't get one that was best in slot. I'm like, okay, if your game is, the RNG is that bad, I think you should do something about it. Maybe. Why the hell can't you just simply grace inherit on an accessory? That would fix the problem right there. You still have to work to get a good accessory, but at the very least, if you got something that was perfect, but the wrong grace, you could still use the damn thing. That's what's the most frustrating about the way this system works. I have a lot of like best in slot ones on the PS4 file, and it's pretty much the same thing. They're all the wrong grace, so I can't use them. If they just let me inherit the grace, like everything else, every other loot component in the game, then that would not be a problem. I don't understand it myself. It's a real weird decision. Maybe I can take like 1 extra hit. That's probably all it is. Not much more than that. You can, but it requires hex editing. Last I checked, it still requires hex editing. I've been too lazy to find the table. That's why I'm trying to get the game to just drop something. That's like a last resort. It's tempting, though. I shouldn't have to do that, though. That's my issue with it. I shouldn't have to do that. The game should provide some kind of fail-safe. You know, if you get something that's really good, you shouldn't have to just throw it away. This game encourages, waste. We live in a wasteful society. This game encourages wasting stuff too. You get something that's best in slot, and you just can't use it. Problem is that this is not really good to do because this can drop any grace in the game. It's not really helping much. And I actually like fighting those bosses too. I don't really want to cheat. But you can see it does work. I don't really think the level of the scroll really impacts much anyway, because I have the code on to have max drop quality, which, as you can see, is barely helping. It's like not doing anything. What's the highest level scroll I have? $672. If I had a scroll of the damned with what's it called? The grace I need, then doing this would probably make sense, but all this is really doing is saving time. I actually don't want to just one-shot stuff. I like actually fighting the enemies, but at the same time I'm getting pretty impatient with this. Yeah, but money is useless in this game. It's one of those classic games where the money mechanic gets pointless really quick. That's mostly because the forging is useless. The only real use for forging is if you have a grace inheritance for the grace that you want. It's literally the only point. Divine stuff is useless basically, and you can't forge or craft ethereals. So that's another thing they should fix as well. That would reduce a lot of the RNG too. If they had like smithing text for accessories, but they don't. So you're really at the mercy of just whether the game will give you anything. Money becomes useless pretty much after like the second playthrough. Once you start getting to ethereals, there's no real point in forging stuff anymore unless you have an inheritance. You can theoretically make a weapon you want with if you have a grace inheritance, but generally you're just going to keep getting nothing. Where's that 2 boss scroll? Yeah, I can run that a couple times. Have any more 2 bosses? There's a 672. I gotta admit that is satisfying. I didn't really want to cheat like that, but it is satisfying. Untouched ninjutsu. Inheritable. That's not bad. Yeah, I don't like one-shotting things in action games. I like actually fighting the enemies. But for the purpose of trying to get this damn accessory, I don't mind doing it for a little bit. can't hurt. Should show how bad the RNG is actually, because I have the mod on that makes it so everything drops at like the highest drop quality, and I still haven't gotten one. I got one earlier, but that's after like 30 hours of grinding. Wow, that's not a bad split staff. I don't really like the split staff that much, but it's nice to have copies of the weapons I want to use, just in case I want to diversify later on. But yeah, it's generally pretty pointless to do this. It's like a party trick. Killing them in one hit doesn't mean much when I need it to be an accessory that's ethereal, and then it also needs to be the right grace. Doing this, you're really not going to get much. Puke out that loot. Off it up. That one's not terrible, but it's not what I need. Do I have a Tokichido one? That would be good to run, so I can get all his dual katana stuff while I have this one-shot thing on. Did I ever play Trials of Mana? Yeah, I didn't really like that game that much. I thought the combat was too simple. I did have that mod that sped up the combat though. I might try that at some point. I got like maybe quarter of the way through it and I just kind of got bored. It's better than the old Secret of Mana combat, but still like not really that spectacular. I should give it another chance though. Pretty high chance I'll go back to it at some point. Especially since we're in a kind of a gaming drought right now. Grace Inheritance is always good. Still basically getting a bunch of Garbo, though. Doesn't really help to do this. It's fun and all, but it would be better to do this once I finish the Underworld. Oh, that's pretty cool. Huh. See, which ones do I have in Dual Katana? I only have one, don't I? I need to get the others if I want to try that weapon. I know some of them are good. A lot of them are just shit like grabs, though, which are, like, pointless. Grabs are not too hot in this game. Got any more 2-boss ones? Nobody's ever going to do this scroll. That's the big castle. No one in their right mind is ever going to do that. It's not worth it. It takes too long. It's a real shit boss fight. Let me see what smithing text I got. Maybe I can make a, maybe I can just make a Purity Fist right now. I don't know if I have the materials, though. That's easy to fix, though. Oh, we need a hell of a lot more of those. Yeah, that one's got innate purity. Actually, this one is better because it doesn't have the other affix. Let me see, do I have any inheritance right now? Maybe I'll just do that right now. It would need to be a Ninigi's Grace. So let's see if I've got one in here. If I don't, then I'm not going to bother doing this right now. So I'm not having any luck at getting one to drop with purity. These are all the wrong one. Nope, I've had pretty shit luck with inheritance. It's basically nothing. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that right now. There's no point. Alright, I'm gonna go back to fighting Otakemaru. Just one-shot him and get all his stuff. No, that one's not terrible. It's not bad. But I'm looking for increased dodge iframes right now. That would be a really good thing to have. I think it gives you, like, someone said, like, 3 extra frames of invincibility or something, which is a lot if you're in low stance. It's actually a pretty considerable amount. I don't know exactly how much it is. It's a couple frames. This one's got dodge and invulnerability, but it's got a bunch of other crap on it. Toughness inheritable is something, I guess. One accessory. Wrong grace, but it's still a decent one. That's got the enhanced invulnerability, so I'm gonna keep that one. One thing that's really good about the max drop quality is that you can get all the secret moves pretty quickly, which is arguably the worst part of this. One of the worst parts of this game. I do think getting accessories in Soul Cores that are optimal, if you care about having an optimal build, is the worst. But getting the secret moves is a real pain too. I think it's a little bit better now that you can get scrolls that ideally just have the boss and you can just fight them in a few minutes. But back when the game came out, the best way to get them was to soft reset. You can kill them and then soft reset if they didn't give you something you wanted. So we spent a lot of time staring at load screens. But at the time there were no picture scrolls, so that was the fastest way to do it. There pretty much was no other faster way. If you tried to play through the whole level, you're just wasting your time. The picture scrolls have made it a little bit better, but it's still... the drop rate's pretty abysmal. I've had people actually DM me on Discord and ask me if I had a code to get all the secret moves back, because they played like hundreds of hours. Anybody who gives you shit for cheating on this game, at least if you played the console version with no mods, I think they're pretty delusional. Some of the stuff in this game is a real grind to get, and there's no like failsafe for it. The fact that they have the scrolls that drop the specific grace helps, but there's still too many layers of RNG. It's really hard to get exactly what you want in this game. Which is weird because it's not a service game. There's no microtransactions. There's no loot boxes to buy. It's just... the drop rates are really just legit that bad. The drop rates in this game to get exactly what you want, it makes you feel like you're playing a service game. Which is weird because it's not. It's not a service game. It makes you think there's going to be like a loot box mechanic or something in there for you to drop money. Nope, it's just a standard single-player game. But getting what you want is really difficult. Yeah, this one's got really bad rolls. I'll do this twice more. I think I'm gonna probably go to bed. I'd rather do this like off stream, because I'm not even like playing the game anymore. I don't think they dropped any accessories. Actually, I may, I'll do this a couple more times. Maybe I can temper equipped accessory if I have a spare slot. That might help. I should probably do that anyway, because when I grind again tomorrow, it's going to be good to have that. So I'm not going to get anything tonight. I already got one accessory today. It's not going to give me anything else. It's kind of futile to keep trying. I forgot what I came in here to do. Need to find equipped accessory. So I don't really need the armor anymore. It's just the accessories what I need. There we go. Alright, I might make somewhat of a difference.
Matado.
What's up, Anthony? How you been, man? I haven't talked to you in a while. One accessory, 2 bosses. Even with cheat engine, this shit's not helping. The cheat engine's like not even making any noticeable difference. This game's RNG. It's like an impenetrable fortress. So that game is seriously like winning the lotto, getting anything good in this game. Well, my build's almost ready for the end of the underworld. If I keep doing this grind, I will get there eventually. I need 45 more levels. So that's 630, level 637. That's when my build will be done. I'll be right back. Alright, I just took my meds, so tends to knock me out. I'm gonna do this a little bit longer and see if having the lucky drop accessory actually makes a difference. And I'm gonna crash. You can see how this is not helping, though. Speeding up the process of getting nothing but garbage. It's not really making a difference. I think I got anything that time. Oh, transform bonus con is pretty good. It's an accessory. Decent. Nice to get a Grace Inheritance right now. And I could make like the perfect pair of fists. You can still squeeze out like pretty decent amount of damage out of those fists I have, but it's got an affix that conflicts with damage up on whatever stat you're scaling with. And it's one of those ones that's permanently tempered to it, so it's an innate ability. So I would have to get another copy. But I can just craft one. That's what I did on PS4. I crafted one with a Grace Inheritance. And I got like a bested slot one that way. You guys dropped no accessories. None. Jeez, man. This is crazy. This isn't even worth doing. Once the novelty wears off, you realize it's not really saving you any time. Saving you the time of getting junk. But I'll have to wait until I get to the end of the Underworld to really bother doing this. If I had scrolls for the bosses I didn't have the secret moves off of, that would be useful, but I already got like Takemaru and the other ones to puke out all their stuff already, so would depend on finding another scroll. Yeah, I already got all the stuff off them. If I had a Tokichiro one, and none of these drop. They don't drop secret moves. The Ninja Turtle guy doesn't, for one. Actually, Yoshitatsu Saito drops one. I think I may have gotten them all already, though. Not a bad dual katana. Yasukani, that's got poop on it. Alright, I'm gonna turn that code off. You can see, there's your proof, it really doesn't make much difference. I gotta get rid of all this junk first.
いらっしゃい。またど。
Alright, let me turn that off. That did not help at all. All it does is just speed up the inevitable, and the inevitable is getting nothing. That is the only purpose it serves. At least for now. I could see myself doing that again when I get Scrolls of the Damned, but that's a long ways off. I'm gonna do one more run. One more run of this. That's gonna be it for this. One more run. Maybe it'll give me something.
Nani?
There's people complaining about the cheating people are doing. It's like, well, you gotta realize those people probably played the game for like 1,000 hours. Nobody who has a molecule of sanity left would want to play this game unaltered. Even the most hardcore players of this game, which I am not one of them. I play this game pretty hardcore, but not as much as the real Neo fanatics. Even they're saying like, yeah, I wish I could just get all the secret moves again right away. I could totally understand that. Especially if that was like a really big part of how you played. You don't want to get all that shit again. Drop rates are poop. Get out here. Nothing. Not even... Not even one accessory job. He dropped a divine, but it's got no stars on it. You don't even really want divine accessories to drop, because then it means you need to put it in the stone. and the stone is inevitably going to give you the wrong grace. You have like you have like a lottery tier chance of it being the right grace. Ideally, you want it to just drop with the grace and then have the star effects on it. Otherwise, you basically have not really accomplished anything. Give me a treasure room. That would be the best possible thing that could happen. They had a way to like force treasure rooms. If you don't want to just straight up give yourself the item, that would be pretty nice. I did get one tonight, but it was the wrong grace pool, so I essentially got nothing out of that. I think there was like one good one in there. The rest of it was whatever. So I guess next up, I need to go back through the DLC. I need to go through the DLC and fight Bob Hayabusa to get all the ninjutsu and stuff. Get the Hayabusa armor. Need to fight Yorimitsu. I need to find Tokichiro as well, but I think it's better to just wait till I get a scroll for him. That's the only thing the max drop rarity cheat does. It just makes it so if you do get something worthwhile, you have a much higher chance of it being good. It really doesn't do much. But in the case of getting the Art of Combat scrolls, it does help a lot. Generally, after you kill them, you only need like maybe 4 or 5 kills. Max it. Which is nice. I remember when this came out, I must have killed Hanzo like 70 times before he dropped the Tonfa move. And then when they added Bob Hayabusa, I think I killed him. It had to have been like close to 100 times before he dropped the move. I can't knock anybody for not wanting to do that. That's just looking out for your own mental health at that point. There's no pity, there's no failsafe, there's nothing you can really put on that will actually make it drop it. You really do just have to just sit there and grind out the RNG. Which is a shame because some of those moves are actually really good. Some of them are like complete game changers. Some of the other ones are shitty. The ones that revolve around counters and grabs and stuff, those ones are pretty useless because they don't work on yokai. Which basically means for like 60% of the of the enemies in the game, and it won't do anything. There's only like a couple like parry type moves in the game that actually work on every attack in every enemy class. For the most part, it's what was I gonna say? For the most part, they're just for human enemies. Which I can understand why it's designed that way, because they don't want to make a grab animation for every yokai, because a lot of them are like 2 or 3 times the size of the player character. I can see how that would be a nightmare to animate, but it creates the same problem that like all the like modern beat 'em ups have, where they have characters that focus on grabs, but they can't do it on anything hyper armor. So you get situations like DFO where they actually have a mechanic called grab cannon that allows you to at least not completely miss the animation. But in that game, the problem was you played like a grappler or something. The only thing you really had was some of the grab cannon moves will at least hold the enemy down so that your other party members could hit them, but it made the class really boring to play if you were soloing, because basically all you were doing was just putting out a hitbox. There were no more cool properties on anything. In Neo, it's mostly just why the hell why are so many of the hidden moves just useless shit, like the human only counters. They're nice to have, but the fact that they don't work on like 60% the enemies in the game. Just kind of makes it pointless. It's really limited to like just generic looks like the ninjas and the snipers and stuff, and then the human bosses. But the human bosses can just hyper armor through it anyway. So makes you wonder, like, what is the point of this mechanic? They did add Opportunist in the final DLC, though. Actually, that was the second DLC when they added the fists. They added Opportunist, which actually does work on almost every attack in the game. Let's see. Do I feel like doing anything else tonight? Let's try this out really quick. Most of them only work in mid-stance, and they don't work on like 70% of the enemies in the game, so they're pointless. I feel like they did not think things through when they made all those moves. The parry is always like a high-risk, high-reward kind of thing, but when they don't work on most of the enemies, and then the human bosses are the only like relevant content you'd want to use it on, and they just walk through it, it's like, what's the point again? Modern beat 'em ups have had that problem for like 15 years though. Oh, that's right, my controller doesn't work with this game. I forgot about that. Because this game is stuck on the fucking Epic Game Store, which has shit controls for everything. I can't even play this right now. It won't pick up my controller. What a joke, man. How have they not fixed this? It's been like 4 months. What the fuck, man? I forgot when I got the key for this game, I legit couldn't play it because it won't pick up the controller. Because the Epic Game Store is a piece of shit. How have you not fixed that? Like, come on. I had to run that game through Steam just to play it at all. I get tired of the people that say that the hate for the Epic Game Store is just people being subservient to corporations like Valve and Steam and stuff. It's like that's not the problem. The problem is that developers keep selling out and making their games exclusive on there, and the Epic Game Store has like no features at all. There's no reviews for one. There's no big picture mode for like to give it more controller support. You don't have universal controller remapping, so if you have like a physical disability and the game doesn't allow you to change the controls, and ironically there are a lot of games that don't let you do that, even though I remember changing controls in Mega Man X like 30 years ago. There's no forums, so if you have like a problem with the game, you can't just like on Steam, you can't just like find somebody with a thread with the same problem and hopefully fix it without having to deal with like outsourced customer support. There's no shopping cart. It's like it really isn't just blind fanboyism and being subservient to a corporation. There are legitimate reasons to hate the Epic. People too. I thought that people just hated it because it wasn't Steam, but the fact that they have so much money and their store is objectively worse than Steam in like every imaginable way. Keep in mind, like, they have a Discord for Godfall, that game I was just playing, right? You can't talk in there. You literally can't talk. It's like, okay, why do you have a Discord server if you can't fucking talk? And the game has no matchmaking, so you have to go into another Discord. You have to treat it like a fighting game that no one plays anymore. You have to go into a Discord and beg somebody to play with you because there's no matchmaking. And if you have a problem with the game, you have to go on the Reddit. And the Reddit is mostly just people just complaining about the game and still have some kind of hate boner for it or something. The Epic Game Store really is a piece of shit, and I wish people would realize that and stop calling people blind fanboys for Steam. Keep in mind, Steam was really shitty when it came out too. Like back when Counter-Strike came out, and they forced everybody. It used to not have to use Steam to use Counter-Strike and Half-Life, but like when Counter-Strike started getting popular, they forced Steam on you. And at the time, Steam was exactly like the Epic Game Store was. It's just a pain in the ass, and there's no real benefit to using it besides the games that the developers sell out and put it on there for. But they worked really hard, and now Steam is actually a really good place to have all your games on because there's lots of features. There's reviews. You can find reviews from people that actually like beat the damn game that aren't paid to play it. There's forums, so if you have like a tech support problem, there's at least some chance that you'll find somebody else with the same problem that can give you a solution so that you're not stuck waiting, trying to get a refund or waiting for them to patch your problem. And then they have the controller support too. You can remap controls in any game, even games that don't have it. And also it supports a wide variety of controllers too. So things like that really help. I think all the complaints about Kingdom Hearts being stuck on the Epic Game Store are totally valid. Square doesn't need that money. I wouldn't be surprised if Epic was the one that approached them and told them, hey, we'll give you like $5 trillion of Fortnite money if you put it on here. I'm sure it's a timed exclusive. I don't think Square is stupid enough to keep it stuck on there. It's probably going to be stuck on there for like a year. So that's generally what happens with um, Epic exclusives. They're stuck on there for a year, and then they can come to other platforms. Or there's exceptions like Dauntless. Dauntless was on console day one. Super Meat Boy Forever, that came out on Switch day one too. But for like PC only stuff, it's always a year. I'm not looking forward to when the ports suck and you can't just go on the forum to get help. You have to like scour the internet instead of just clicking on the game and clicking on the forum. What a fucking nightmare that's gonna be. Unless those ports are like Capcom tier, like no problems at all, way better than console, like no reason to ever play it on console again kind of thing. I don't really think it will be like that. I doubt that it will. Yeah, Godfall does not have remapping, and it also does not pick up my controller at all, even though I have it in fucking X input mode. I remember when they gave me that key, I got a rude awakening about how bad the Epic Game Store actually is, because what happens is when you redeem a key on Epic Game Store, they make you go through this like impossible CAPTCHA because I guess they don't want people like getting review keys and then like selling the account or something. But the CAPTCHA was like impossible to clear. I spent like an hour, over an hour, trying to log in. Eventually I got to the point where I could just sign in with, I could just connect it to my Google account and I could actually download the damn game. But then I got in and it doesn't support my controller. So I had to download another program to make it run through Steam just so that I could make my controller work. Like, come on now. This is why people hate you. Yes, there are people that are just blind, fans to Steam. They're subservient to a corporation. No corporation is your friend, but the ones that make it easier for you to spend money and use their service are the ones that generally people actually want to support. No corporation is your friend, but the ones that don't waste your time and make it harder for you to spend money are generally the ones that do better, which is why Steam is such a juggernaut right now. And the Epic Game Store is basically something people just use for Fortnite and all the exclusives. That's the only purpose it serves. It's just weird that they put like no effort into making it better. It's like if they just added a lot of the stuff that Steam has, obviously they have the money to do it. I don't think there would be that much of a difference. It'd be no different than like having a game exclusive to console and then just like switching to PC. I bought like Mario 3D World earlier today. I was playing that on my shift earlier. You know, it's not really a big deal that that's exclusive. It's just another platform. But the problem with Epic is it's just a straight downgrade. Anyway, I'm gonna do a little bit of Steam shopping and then I'm gonna call it tonight. It's about 1 in the morning. I should probably get to bed. There's the lunar sale right now, so I want to check that out. See if there's anything. I remember when Valve forced you to use Steam to play Counter-Strike and Half-Life, and it was like the exact same thing that happens when you have announcements like today, like Kingdom Hearts finally being on PC after like almost 20 years, but stuck on the Epic Game Store. It's like history is repeating itself. Everybody hated having to install Steam. It was like, what's the point of this program? And back then, it was like exactly like how the Epic Game Store is. It had like no features. It's funny how, as much as things have changed in the game industry, the Epic Game Store is like doing the exact same thing. Only they have way more money than Valve did at that time. It's going to be interesting to watch when those ports come out. Like I said, if they're not like completely perfect out of the gate, that's going to be a nightmare to troubleshoot. You're going to have to like go through the Kingdom Hearts Reddit, which is like 90% bad shit posts, to try to get help because there's no forum. I'm glad I'm not really a Kingdom Hearts fan. I can't imagine how bad that's going to be. Does not sound appealing, slightest. Okay, I'm not playing Cyberpunk. You clearly have no idea what I want to play, algorithm. Just recommending a bunch of battle royales and shit. Let's just try niche. What do they got in here? What is this? No wonder I haven't played that. Class-based platformer roguelike. Pass on that. Sounds like Neo 2 to me. You can parry, but you can't parry very many attacks. It's unclear whether you can parry something or not until you try. Sounds a lot like the problems I have with Neo 2. This review is from like ages ago, though. Looks like they did change some of the things that guy mentioned. Huh. When was that review? That was 21st. And that patch with the better combat was 6 days after he posted that review. uh, I'll wishlist this one. It looks decent at best. What else they got? I've actually heard of a lot of these games. A lot of them are pretty bad. Remilore was pretty decent. I did enjoy that game, but it was kind of a shitty roguelike. It was way too easy to break. It took like no effort at all to break that game. I got a review key for that on PS4, and I just like broke that game in its core. Probably would have been better if it was not a roguelike, 'cause there wasn't enough run variety. The items basically did nothing. It's a cool game. $10 for this game's not bad. It's just that they were charging 40 for it. There's like way better action roguelikes you could play than this, like Wizard of Legend. Wizard of Legend's like almost the exact same type of game, kind of an isometric overhead action roguelike with an emphasis on melee combat. That game is way better run variety. Felt like after playing that game like 5 times, I saw everything. Didn't really have a lot of legs to it, which for a roguelike is always a very bad thing. If you get tired of playing a roguelike after like 5 hours, it's not a good one. Alright, well, I think I'm done for tonight. Let me see what's in the wish list. I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. I heard this game was decent, but needs a hell of a lot of work. Yeah, people said the combat felt clunky. It's like, that's a good reason for me to not bother with that game. This is coming out in like 6 days, so that's probably going to be the next thing I play. Um, Godfall, I have to put through Steam because Epic Game Store's poop and it doesn't detect my controller. Um, this is coming out on the 17th, so I'm going to be playing that a hell of a lot. Everything else has a really long or non-existent release date. Helvetii I'm waiting for. Bushiden. Unsold demo is kind of decent. I don't know if I'd really buy that game though. It felt kind of clunky. Dragon Blazers in May. Rangok Skies I'm waiting for. Blade Assault was decent. Fallen Knight I'm looking forward to as well. I played the demo for this one. The combat was really clunky. Wonder how this game's doing. Has this gotten any more updates? Wow, they haven't updated this game in like months. They haven't updated it since September. What? That's a bad sign. I've definitely bought some early access games that do that. They just like they update the game like 3 times and then they ghost. They just run off with the money. Yeah, I'm probably wait on that one too. All right, folks. I'll see you guys. I might just do a repeat of today, which was I stream at my kitty sitting job and then come home and play some PC stuff. Got a couple things to play, so we'll figure it out. I'll catch you guys later.